who is the best player that you have played with? Who, like your of high school?
High school, the best player I played with was probably Brian Morris.
Why is that?
He was our quarterback. He was, he didn't look the part, but when he got on that field, he was the field general. He had a cannon for an arm. He was elusive. He was a leader for us.
Was there anybody that, when you played in high school ball, anybody locally that you hated going up against, or gave you a hard time?
Not really, but I just hated as a team playing against Seabreeze. They were loaded with athletes, with John Parks and Baldy and all those guys. So they were loaded over there.
Let's stick with John Parks for a second, because he made the list too. And John is one of those guys that's kind of forgotten in time, because he didn't really go on to have the college career and then the accolades afterwards. But there's people that have told me that if he had kept his nose clean, he would have been playing on Sundays.
He would have been. I've always said this, in my personal opinion. If Deion Sanders was the best athlete at Florida State at that time, John Parks was 1A. He was phenomenal. There was nobody. He was the first athlete that you could see who was 6'3", could run all day, run a 4.3. He would knock you out, and he was just tenacious.
Did you ever get on the bad side of one of those hits?
In high school I did. In college I was able to avoid him a lot. But again, if things would have went the way that he wanted them to, he would have been playing on Sundays for real.
When you see a story like what ended up happening, how does it strike you? Does it make you sad? Does it make you angry? Like when you saw kind of what happened, what amounted?
Well, it was it was unfortunate, and but one thing I'm happy about, he did not let that deter him, because he's back here now, and I'm just so happy to have my friend back here and with me, and he's learned from it, and I think it's a teachable moment to younger kids that if you have to make the right decisions.
So there are plenty of guys that put you very high on this list. What would you say is either your best game or your best memory of your playing career here at Mainland?
Well, for me, my best game is my senior year against Lake Mary. I had been out for 2 games. I missed 2 games with a separated shoulder. The first game I came back, we played Lake Mary. We beat them 28-21. I had 10 catches for 155 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. So I knew I was back.
When you have a game like that, after missing some time, is there any, I don't know if it's rust or do you have to have a game like that to affirm where you are physically? Well,
I was chomping at the bit, and a lot of the 2 previous games, I did attempt to play, but I had this harness on my arm where they wouldn't let me lift my arm, so it really limited me. So once I was able to get back and get free, get myself back free, I was like a kid in the candy store. So I went out there and I just had a great game that game.
You're often regarded as one of the first great receivers to come through this school. You see some of the guys afterwards that have come through between guys that have played multiple positions and went on to be receivers in college, like Antoine and TT and some of those guys. For all those guys to have mentioned you as a peer, as somebody that they looked up to, what does that mean to you?
It means a lot. It means that I did set a good precedence around here, and a lot of those guys that I did coach, and I will tell them, I will say a lot of them have more talent than I did. I mean, they had more speed than I did. Some of them were bigger, some were faster. But one thing I don't think that I think set me apart was my work ethic. I knew I had to work hard to get where I wanted to go. So I preach that, and sometimes it doesn't come off well with some of my players. Like Tony Wilson would tell you right now to this day, it took him 2 years to even like me because I was so hard on him and I was so adamant about doing the little things. But I know what it takes to get to the next level in each level. And even though my pro career was very short, I did get there because I did the little things. And just for them to mention me as the one who paved the way, it feels good.
I'm going to do some rapid fire. I'm going to give you a guy by name, just kind of off the top of your head, just your recollections, your memories, what they meant to this program. Denzel Houston.
Denzel he is the standard right now of what we want in the quarterback position and the leader position, because the young man came in from day one and put his stamp on this program.
Antoine Wyatt.
Antoine was probably the most versatile athlete that we've ever had come through here. Unfortunately, there was an injury to him in his career in the pros that derailed him too, but he would have probably had a stellar career also.
What about the guys who are the toughest to coach against? In your coaching career, who are guys that just gave you guys fits?
I don't know if I wouldn't say they gave us fits, but I think, and I tell a lot of people, the toughest guy I've ever coached against, and I think he's the toughest guy we've ever played against, second to Chris Rainey down at Lakeland, was Eric Weems over at Seabreeze. Eric Weems was he's tough as nails. And that's why he's had a 10-year career now. You coming from small BCU and, not being drafted, and the way he, went the free agent route, but he's forged a 10-year career in the NFL and has become an all-pro. It's a testament just to how his hard work and his work ethic. He's just I hated trying to scheme against Eric Weems, because no matter what you did, his will was going to get him to make a play.
We talked about just before we went on camera, Craig Candido over at DeLand.
Craig Candido, that offense was made exactly for him. And then when he went to Navy, it showed, because he had the same success when he got at Navy. He was again another tough as nails quarterback who knew the offense, and he gave everything he had.
I'll give you one more guy, Pop Saunders from DeLand. The last time that we had their team go to the state championship game, he was kind of the front and center of it.
Pop Saunders, if Pop Saunders didn't have to play quarterback, or if he didn't have to play running back, or if he didn't have to play wide out, or if he didn't have to play defense, and he had other guys that that could carry the load, he would be very high on this list, because he was an essential part of his team, one of the best players in Central Florida. And again, he was just spread so thin because they were what they had down there. Not saying they didn't have players, but he just meant so much to that team that he had to do it all.